I'm Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington.
Hi, and I'm Brad Payne, FPIW Action President.
Couple of disclaimers before we get started today. First and foremost, this is not an endorsement of the candidate, nor is it the candidate's endorsement of FPIW, nor FPIW action. And this is being recorded and will be published in its entirety.
All right, Matt, I get to start first. So, easy questions. One, if you could just give us your name and the position you're running for, and then tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
All right, so my name is Matthew Heines. I go by Matt. I am from Sequim, Washington, and I graduated from Sequim High School. I'm a graduate of Washington State University, and I have a master's degree in secondary education from the University of Alaska. I am running for First District, United States Congress, and my family background is I grew up very poor. I mean, extremely poor. In fact, we were so poor we couldn't even pay attention. It was that bad. So, but yeah, we were and all levity aside, very poor, and that really affected my outlook on life. And the other thing that affected my outlook on life was the effect my teachers had on me, and that really influenced me to want to become a teacher. So I served in the Army so I could get the college money and then go to college, be a teacher. And my family situation now is I have a wonderful wife. She is an Indian national. We met while we were teaching in the Sultanate of Oman. And we came here and we went through all the immigration stuff and we did everything legally. So now my wife is a happy and she's a U.S. citizen and very happy that I'm involved in politics and trying to make our country a little bit better.
Awesome. Now, what is motivating you to run for office?
Like I said, my wife and we met in Oman, and I worked for Raytheon, the air defense people, and I worked for Northrop Grumman. I also taught at universities in Oman. And we came back here and we saw, I mean, it was like getting off a time machine. And when I left in 2001, I didn't really buy into the attack thing of September 11th. And I talk about that in my book, My Year in Oman. And we came back here, it was 13 years later, and it was like, what happened to this country? And, we came back and things happened and we're kind of scrambling. And then when I saw Donald Trump run, I said, that's the guy, and I'm gonna run. And whether I win or not, if I can win, I'm gonna support that guy in Congress because we got serious issues here in Washington State, and things really, really need to change. And I'm glad you guys. I want to also say thank you for having me on and giving me the opportunity to speak up for American families.
Very good. That's family's a big issue. Outside of that, maybe you could give us an idea of one concern that you have, if you could pick one, and then talk to us just a little bit about what you hope to accomplish in office if you're elected.
Well, of course, there are so many things that have gone wrong, but we are not going to survive if we don't fix our education system. There's just no way around that. And the children and the students that are coming out today, and I don't want to label all of them because boy, I see some really well-mannered, respectful kids coming out, but a lot of the students that are coming out of high schools and colleges now, they have no idea of how you operate in our society, in our democracy. I think that our students need to understand more about our government and how it works. And that's what's happening. What you see it on the news every day. These kids are just frustrated because they have no idea how our government works. And I had a horrible experience trying to teach here in public schools. And I was judged because I was a veteran. I was judged because of my religion. And so I just said to heck with it, and I went overseas and after September 11th, and I was very happy to do it because the students there in the Middle East are very respectful of teachers. They think that teachers are gifts from God, and I had a lot of success over there and made a lot of good friends. But if we don't fix, and I keep harping on this, if we don't fix our education system right now, in 40 years, these kids are going to be, eating each other just to survive because the more, or everything's going to be run by AI, because the more technology takes over, the less people understand, the more they're just going to start feeding off of each other, both figuratively and literally. So we have got to fix our education system. And I would like to go to Congress and get involved in offering school choice and at least trying to salvage what's left of our public school system. And I will tell you this, we cannot have our school systems be, there are two kinds of parents. There's those that care about their kids' education and those that think the school system is a babysitter. And that has got to change. And we've got to stop using our school systems as a place where kids go to play sports. They need to go to get prepared for life.
Our fourth and final question is, there are many issues that FPIW action and FPIW represent, from individual freedom, public safety, legal immigration, environmental stewardship, property rights, quality education, parental rights, etc., that we're working on. Any of those that you would like to expand into and share your perspective on?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about immigration right now because my wife and I went through the immigration process. So we came here and I did all the paperwork and we paid our money and we went through that process. And my wife just loves America. She's always been fascinated by it. She's a Christian. And I just figured out what that blur is. Anyway, I can't get rid of it, but immigration has got to change. And so you hear a lot of rhetoric about, oh, we need to, seize immigration and all that. But if you look at all of our jobs that are, skilled, unskilled, but a lot of them are filled by immigrants. Now, when I was in Oman and Saudi Arabia as a teacher, I was sponsored by the people I worked for. And if you want to bring in somebody and have them work for you, okay, no problem. You can pay for them so they don't end up on the welfare rolls and taking out more money from our system than they're ever going to put in. So I had a labor card, and that's what people should have. They should have a labor card attached to the spot to their sponsor. And yeah, come here, work, do your thing. But that is in no way ever going to allow you to be a US citizen. If you want to be a US citizen, you've got to go through that program. But if you're coming here to work, you come here to work, send your money home, do whatever you want with it, but do not expect to stay here and do not expect your children to stay here, because this immigration thing is just destroying what we know and are as Americans. And unfortunately, there's a certain amount of people that are using the differences in race as a political tool to say, oh, everybody's racist against you, and this person's racist, and that person's racist. If that's the game they're going to play, then we're not going to play it at all. Let's just stop the racism, or let's just stop the immigration until we figure out, do we want to hang on to our culture, our Christian Judeo culture, or are we going to be Islamist, or are we going to be Buddhists or something else? But our country was founded on the Judeo-Christian values. I'm a Latter-day Saint, and I am thankful that I was raised with those beliefs, because we're taught to love everybody. And so those are the things that are very important to me. And so we need to really sit down and talk about, without hating each other and screaming and yelling and threatening, about where we're going in the future as to what our culture is going to be in 50 or 100 years from now.
All right. Well, Matt, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so very much for being on.
Right.
We appreciate you taking the time and effort to join us, and wish you luck in the next few weeks.
All right, Brad and Brian, thank you very much.
All right. I'm Brad Payne from FPIW Action.
And I'm Brian Noble from FPIW. We want to encourage you as Washingtonians to go out there and love your neighbor by faithfully stewarding the public square. Again, nothing on this video should be taken as an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW, nor FPIW action. We together will go out and defend and advance biblical values in the public square.